right, welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. And well, it is Monday, the last day of the month, and we have some very important closures on the board. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Everybody that subscribed to our channel, we're going to have a big drawing tomorrow to win an Oculus headset. Want to go ahead and follow through with that promise. So the big question is, why are the markets rallying right now in the face of this war? And in simple terms, the Fed now has an excuse to blame inflation on the war. And now analysts are forecasting with a 90% chance that the March rate hike will only be 0.25% instead of 0.5 point. And the subsequent following rate hikes this year look like they're going to be somewhere in the same vein. Additionally, I just want to let you know today's price action is going to be short and sweet. Bitcoin is breaking out, as you can see right here. And so I'm just looking at Bitcoin on a 4-hour right now. I'm going to take a fib retracement and say that the next target is going to be about 42,000 with the short-term pullback. But in general, everything's looking good. We are taking out all the bearish divergence coming back to this point right here. And the next point of confluence will want a 4-hour, actually above, a 4-hour above 41,750 is probably going to be enough to do it for me. Somewhere in this region, actually, I would say call it 42,090, and that's going to give us confirmation of a move back up to about 45,500, and that will bleed on into the daily time frame. So, yep, we are going to have quite a bit of bearish divergence if we cannot take out this high at 43,000, or call it 44,000. You're going to have several drives of bearish divergence, and that might not look good. Something else I am noticing right now, Nasdaq futures down 92, and that's okay. Nasdaq did break the 618 on this last breakdown here. Retracing it back from this point to this point, and with a break above this guy, and then a retest of the 0.5, this is looking for continuation up at least a 14,593 on a 4-hour time frame, and that is relatively bullish for the markets. But back into Bitcoin's price action, and we've been talking about this over the last few weeks. Where are we really waiting for patience for Bitcoin's price action to give us that next move, either to the $29,000 level or to the $52,000 level? And that is going to be right here with Bitcoin. I'm going to throw it up on this chart. Hopefully that's going to be a little more easy to see. So what I would say is, if we can get a daily closure, and let's just take a look at stochastic momentum. So we are across the upside alongside declining volatility. So could this be a corrective move and we get held down here again? We'll have to see how Nasdaq wants to hold itself up alongside the dollar. The dollar is still holding at 96, and I would say any kind of a daily closure above 97, or call it $98 on the dollar, is not going to be good for Bitcoin. But if we can get the dollar to head back down south, that'll be good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is popping up at 43.44. We did say that's very likely, and I'm looking for this to rise up to 46.5% minimum over the next few weeks, maybe month or two. That one moves a bit slower, but back on to Bitcoin's price action. So any kind of a daily closure back above 46,000, and I do believe we'll get a shot up to at least, call it 51,692 on spot price action. On CMEs, that's going to be coming in at 52,000. Vice versa, if you want to pull up a fib retracement here on the daily time frame, wick to wick, we are coming right into the 618. I would say any kind of a daily closure actually back above this guy today at 41,210 on CMEs, and that's going to look good for a move back to the top side of the range around 45,000. Call it 45,000. Now, where would this move get invalidated here on the 4-hour time frame? I would say if we start closing 4 hours back below 38,630, I would call this a failed rally. And then back on to, so we looked at the daily. Let's take a look at the 3-day. And what I will say is on CMEs, on our secondary chart, the MACD here is about to get a positive cross to the upside. And this will be closing in 3 hours and 59 minutes. And that's one to keep an eye on right here. If we can get the daily close, and we already got it on spot price action, but if we just zoom in here and we take a look at, it doesn't look like we're going to do it today. However, we're getting close and we're almost getting into green territory on the spot price. If we take a look at spot price, already did, and you know, thanks to Mr. Crown here, Mr. Eric Crown, his channel, he pointed this out, that this has produced some significant bounces in Bitcoin's price action. But want to wait for confirmation on CMEs to get a more stronger signal there. And so 3-day closure, we're looking at that. I'm going to throw also on a monthly time frame, and this is one bearish signal. We did get the cross on CMEs, and to the downside, we got the cross there as well. And so could this be the bull trap rally we've been waiting for Bitcoin to head up to 52,000? I think there is a very good case for that. And again, that would be denoted with a daily closure back above this level at 45,770, or call it 46,000. I do believe that will get us the move. And that being said, if Bitcoin does want to show any kind of weakness up in the $50,000 to $52,000 level, which I will put back on my primary chart here and throw this in here, and we can just take a look at it on a weekly. And where's there less lines in the sand here, but on a weekly fib retracement from the wick high to the wick low, you can see the 0.5 in the 618. That is your bull trap area coming in right there at that last high. That would be where you'd want to be on the lookout for the bull trap. Okay. And looks like Nasdaq is giving back some of those losses here. And I did notice this on Nasdaq as well. If we have a 3-day closure coming in 3 hours and 56 minutes, anywhere above 14,300, that is going to confirm bullish divergence. Going back to this guy right here. And so we would have 2 drives of bullish divergence, and that typically gives you a run up to the yellow 21, which is coming in at 14,864, and that would look nice for Bitcoin, at least getting a rally back up to the $45,000, $46,000 level. But again, we want to be aware of all the news, because the same thing is playing out. I mean, you've got, looks like several drives of bullish divergence here, or that is hidden bullish divergence, as we got 1, 2, 3 drives there, where RSI is making, going back to this point, RSI is making lower lows, and I think it's actually already playing out. But on declining volatility, as all we want to do is see volatility start to increase here, and really to take out 45.5, and I think that would give us a very nice move up to about 52,000 for Bitcoin. So again, very important closures. And let's take a look at the monthly here on Bitcoin. And I'm just going to take these off here. So if Bitcoin can hold this monthly closure here, and that would be a higher low, not confirmed, but this would be the first etching of a of bullish divergence here. So we got a lower low in RSI and a higher low, right? Price making lower lows, excuse me, hidden bullish divergence, price making higher lows, and RSI is making lower lows. Hidden bullish divergence playing out here, and that should give us a drive up to that $52,000 mark. But the bearish thing, you know, we got Stokes crossing down on the monthly time frame, and that has, you know, typically played out pretty significant downside, and that's where I would say there's a very likely chance of that bull trap playing out around 52 to 55,000. Let's take a look at Ethereum real quick, and Ethereum kind of doing the same thing, but on the 4-hour times, it is bouncing a little bit weaker than the rest. So as you can see, actually, 4-hour closure back above 28,740. The next move is going to, and if we start to see volatility tick up here, I'd be looking for a move up to $3,055. So Bitcoin's up 9%, Ethereum's up 7%. Coming down to some of our altcoins that are just a little bit, some of the big gainers, but Luna again is really off to the moon here, and it looks like Luna is on the 4-hour volatility is just beginning to tick up as we broke the range, and any kind of a 4-hour closure. Let's see, back above $87, and I do think we will get a run at the highs. Let's see what that looks like on the daily here. We are getting a run almost to the highs as we speak on this last daily breakdown, and volatility's up, Stokes are up, and RSI is in the bullish control zone. How'd this look on a 5-day? 5-day is going to be crossing up here in 1 day and 6 hour, and heading, you know, rejecting the bearish control zone, playing out the bullish divergence that we saw there coming from this point here. We got 2 higher lows there, 2 lower lows right there. And that should give us a shot back to the top side of the range at $88. But how does this look from a Fibonacci retracement standpoint from the high to the low? And we are going to be back above the 618. So taking out the bullish trap zone right there. And where am I looking for pullbacks? 4-hour is just increasing. 12-hour is kind of maxed out here and probably going to cross down. Yeah, so this one is already played out a pretty big move. Now, I'd probably be, you know, more cautious there. Looking at some of the ones that have played out a smaller move like Atom, One, and FTM. They haven't really got going yet. And Phantom, any kind of a closure back above 186, probably going to give you a run to at least 225. One, any kind of a closure. Let's throw in a fib here from this breakdown. So any kind of a closure back above the 618 at 16 cents, probably going to give you a run to the highs here at about 19 cents. Excuse me, that's one. Let's take a look at Phantom really quick. And this one, you know, this correction coming on declining volatility. So that leads me to believe that we could very well get a nice run with any kind of a closure above $1.80. Probably going to revisit the high of 212. So that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, we're not financial advisors. This isn't financial advice. If you enjoyed some of the daily analysis, click the subscribe button below. and get reminded of all the future videos we put out in the market updates and all the resources. And if you're interested in learning a bit more about incorporating Bitcoin and other cryptos into your IRA, there is a link in the description below. Thanks and have a blessed day.